Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It really helps me reach the men who need this truth the most. I want you to listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal will make you see women, love, and yourself in a completely different light. And yes, it might make you a little uncomfortable. But discomfort is the doorway to clarity. Have you ever been with a woman who seems warm, affectionate, and connected one moment, and then suddenly distant, testing, or even cold the next? Maybe she asks questions, pushes boundaries, or seems to provoke reactions you don't understand. You might have blamed yourself, or thought, "Am I not good enough?" I want you to know something fundamental. Women test before they admit love, not because they want to hurt you, but because their heart is wired to protect itself, and their emotions are not simple. Here's the truth most men never hear. Love is not given freely by women. They earn trust, safety, and proof that you are the man who can match their emotional intensity without breaking under it. Every glance, every question, every small challenge is a subtle measure. It's not a game, it's survival. And if you fail to recognize it, you will misread affection for weakness, patience for desperation, and interest for certainty. Think about the last time she asked something personal, or tested your patience. Did you get defensive? Did your ego flare up? Most men do exactly that, and that's why she pulls back. Women are watching how you handle pressure, how you respond to emotional tension, and whether your actions align with your words. They are not testing your wealth, looks, or status. They are testing your character under real-world conditions. By the end of this video, you will understand the invisible rules that govern her mind, the subtle signals that reveal whether she sees you as the man she could commit to, and why most men completely miss these cues. You will finally understand the difference between attraction and validation, between testing and rejection, and why a woman who tests you is secretly preparing to love you if you pass, but will walk away silently if you fail. So take a deep breath and let yourself see clearly. Forget everything you've been told about chasing or impressing her. The truth is far more nuanced, far more psychological, and far more powerful than anything you've tried before. Pay attention, because every word you hear from here could change the way she sees you and the way you see yourself in every relationship going forward. Now let's get deeper. Most men make a critical mistake. They assume that love should be immediate, obvious, and constant. They don't realize that for a woman, admitting love is a dangerous act. Vulnerability is not easy for her, and the emotional stakes are high. She is not just opening her heart, she is exposing herself to potential disappointment, betrayal, and risk. And this is why she tests you first, to see if you are strong enough, consistent enough, and emotionally intelligent enough to handle her fully without breaking. Think about it. Every question she asks, every scenario she puts you in, every subtle challenge isn't random. It's a carefully calibrated probe into your character. She's assessing your patience, your confidence, your integrity, and your ability to remain calm under emotional pressure. She wants to know if you are the kind of man who will disappear the moment things get real. She's trying to see if your words align with your actions, because words are cheap, but actions, how you navigate discomfort, tension, and uncertainty, reveal the truth. Here's a secret few men understand. When she tests you, she's actually giving you an opportunity. It's your chance to demonstrate that you can hold space for her, that you can handle her complexity, and that you're not easily shaken by emotional turbulence. The way you respond to these tests will determine if she sees you as someone she could trust with her heart, or someone she should protect herself from. If you crumble, if you overreact, if you chase validation, she sees weakness. If you remain composed, confident, and grounded, she sees strength, and attraction deepens in ways words cannot capture. But most men fail to recognize this. They misinterpret her actions as rejection, manipulation, or disinterest. They take it personally, and their insecurity drives them to prove themselves in ways that push her further away. That's why understanding this psychological framework is crucial. When you know she is testing you, not playing games, you shift your energy from insecurity to awareness, from desperation to presence. You begin to meet her on a level where real connection can thrive, and you no longer fall into the traps that destroy attraction. So ask yourself, how do you respond when a woman subtly challenges you? Do you react emotionally, or do you observe and respond strategically? Do you cling, explain, or justify? Or do you silently show her through action that you are unwavering, steady, and emotionally capable? This is the invisible power she's looking for, and it's the kind of strength that doesn't scream, argue, or demand. It simply proves itself over time. Pay attention, because if you can master this, you'll stop being a man who is tested and start being the man who is chosen. Let's get even sharper, because this is where most men completely misread women. Women test not to play games. They test because they are protecting something far more valuable than attraction, their emotional safety. You see, she doesn't just give love freely. Love for her is a calculated risk, a delicate balance between desire and self-preservation. And the moment she begins to trust you, it's not a casual gesture. It's the result of countless small observations, subtle judgments, and invisible tests that she puts you through without ever announcing them. Consider this. When she asks you something that feels trivial, like "Why do you always do that?" or when she teases you to see your reaction, she is not trying to annoy you. She's watching how you handle unpredictability, how you respond under pressure, and whether you can maintain composure even when she's intentionally probing. Every word you say, every action you take, becomes a proof point in her subconscious evaluation. And here's the kicker. If you fail, she doesn't always say goodbye outright. She will quietly withdraw, emotionally step back, or subtly test you further. Her love isn't gone, it's paused. She's waiting to see if you can rise to the challenge. Most men panic in this moment. They interpret testing as rejection and overcompensate with excuses, explanations, or displays of insecurity. That is the exact behavior she is measuring against. Women are attracted to strength that isn't fragile, confidence that isn't loud, and calmness that doesn't need validation. The irony is brutal. The very things most men try to prove, dominance, charm, cleverness, often push her away. What she truly wants is consistency. Proof that no matter the pressure, no matter the uncertainty, you remain steady, unshaken, and emotionally present. Here's the truth that few men grasp. Her testing is actually an invitation. It's an opportunity to demonstrate that you are the man who can hold space for her fully, without fear, without insecurity, without neediness. It's an unspoken contract between her vulnerability and your composure. Fail, and she withdraws. Succeed, and she begins to open a door to love that few men ever walk through. So the question you must ask yourself is not how do I make her love me, but can I stand unwavering when she tests me? Because once you master that, you stop chasing love and start becoming a man who naturally commands it. Pay attention. This is where the invisible lines between testing, trust, and true love are drawn. And this is where most men completely miss the map. If you want to be the man she chooses, not the man she tolerates, you need to understand this distinction on a deeper level than you ever have before. There's something else happening beneath the surface when a woman tests you, and this is where the psychology becomes uncomfortable for most men. She is not only observing how you treat her, she is observing how you treat yourself. Your boundaries, your self-respect, your ability to walk away from disrespect without anger or fear. These things speak louder to her than affection ever could. A woman cannot feel safe loving a man who doesn't feel safe inside himself. When she challenges you, delays commitment, or creates emotional tension, she's subconsciously asking one question. Does this man lose himself when things get uncertain? Because if you do, she knows that one day she'll have to carry the emotional weight for both of you. And that kills attraction faster than silence ever could. Women do not want to lead emotionally. They want to trust. And trust is built when you don't beg, chase, or collapse under pressure. Many men misunderstand this and try harder instead of standing firmer. They send longer messages, explain their intentions repeatedly, or attempt to negotiate emotional security. But attraction doesn't grow through negotiation. It grows through grounded presence. The more you try to convince her of your worth, the more you reveal doubt about it yourself. And she feels that immediately, not logically, emotionally. Here's the truth most men resist. Her tests intensify when she feels potential. If she didn't care, she wouldn't test at all. Indifference is quiet. Testing is engagement. It's her way of saying, without words, show me who you really are, when comfort disappears. And the man who passes doesn't pass by performing. He passes by remaining unchanged, calm, self-directed, unreactive. This is why emotionally strong men don't argue with tests. They don't panic. They don't rush to fix tension. They allow silence. They allow space. They allow her to feel what she feels without trying to control it. That steadiness does something powerful inside her. It lowers her guard, slowly, quietly, almost against her will. Love doesn't begin when she says the words. It begins when she stops testing. When the challenges soften, when the edge fades, when she no longer needs proof because she already feels safe. Most men never reach that stage because they exhaust themselves trying to earn love instead of embodying the man love can rest on. If you can understand this, truly understand it, you'll stop seeing her behavior as confusion and start recognizing it as a doorway only strong, centered men ever walk through. There is a moment every woman reaches when her testing becomes more subtle, more quiet, and far more revealing. This is the phase most men completely overlook because nothing dramatic is happening on the surface. No arguments, no obvious challenges, just pauses, silence, slight emotional distance. And in that stillness, she is watching more closely than ever. This is where she observes whether you need reassurance to feel secure, whether you grow anxious when attention dips, whether your sense of worth depends on her responses. And this moment matters more than all the earlier tests combined, because now she's not provoking reactions, she's observing your natural emotional state when nothing is being offered. A man who fails here doesn't fail loudly, he fails quietly. He starts checking in too often. He tries to revive emotional energy that hasn't actually died. He seeks confirmation that he's still wanted. And every one of those actions tells her the same thing. His center is not stable without her. That realization shuts something down inside her that is almost impossible to reopen. A man who passes does something very different. He doesn't chase silence. He doesn't interpret distance as danger. He remains engaged with his life, his purpose, his direction. His emotional tone stays grounded. And without realizing it, she feels something shift. The pressure disappears. The weight lifts. She begins to relax into the connection instead of evaluating it. This is the paradox men struggle to accept. The less you need her certainty, the more she feels safe offering it. Women are deeply intuitive about emotional dependency. They sense it long before words appear. And once they feel it, attraction turns into responsibility. And responsibility is not romantic. Her testing at this stage is about one thing only: emotional independence. Not coldness, not detachment, independence, the ability to desire her without requiring her, to choose her without clinging to her. That distinction is everything. When she realizes you are steady, whether she leans in or pulls back, something inside her softens, trust grows, desire deepens, love becomes possible. Not forced, not rushed, not demanded. Most men never experience this version of a woman, not because she doesn't have it in her, but because they never create the emotional conditions for it to emerge. If you can master this phase, you stop being tested altogether. And that's when something rare happens. She doesn't just feel attracted to you, she feels safe surrendering to you. At a certain point, her tests stop looking like challenges and start looking like vulnerability. And this is where many men misstep in the opposite direction. They think the danger has passed. They relax too much. They become careless with their words, inconsistent with their presence, or lazy with their attention. But emotional safety is not built once, it's maintained. And she is watching to see if the man she trusted under pressure remains the same man when comfort returns. When she begins to open up, share personal fears, or reveal emotional history, she is not asking to be fixed. She is asking to be met, to be heard without judgment, to be understood without solutions. This is a quieter test, but a deeper one. It measures emotional maturity, not strength. And strength without maturity eventually becomes unstable. Most men rush to reassure, to minimize, to explain things away. They believe comfort means removing discomfort. But to her, comfort means presence. It means allowing emotions to exist without trying to control them. A man who listens without defensiveness, without impatience, without trying to appear impressive, that man becomes emotionally irreplaceable. This is also where consistency becomes non-negotiable. She notices patterns, small shifts in tone, changes in effort, moments where you say one thing and do another. These details don't feel small to her. They are signals. Signals that tell her whether the safety she feels is real or temporary. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Women don't fall out of love suddenly. They retreat gradually. And that retreat almost always begins when emotional reliability fades. When the man she trusted becomes unpredictable. When steadiness turns into assumption. A man who passes this phase does not tighten his grip or loosen his care. He remains attentive without hovering, strong without rigidity, present without pressure. He understands that emotional safety is not about intensity, it's about dependability. And when she realizes she can rely on you emotionally, not just when things are uncertain, but when they are calm, something profound happens. Her testing dissolves, her guard lowers, her affection becomes freely given instead of cautiously measured. This is where love stops being a question and starts becoming a choice. And that choice is never made in words first. It's made in the quiet moments where she feels most seen, most understood, and most safe. Something changes inside a woman when she realizes she no longer needs to test you. Not because you passed perfectly, but because you remained yourself when pressure tried to pull you apart. This is the moment men rarely recognize, because it doesn't announce itself with passion or promises. It arrives quietly, through ease, softness, and an absence of tension. She stops watching for reactions. She stops measuring your responses. She stops bracing for disappointment. And in that space, desire shifts into something heavier, something rooted. This is where attachment forms, not from excitement, but from trust. Most men sabotage this phase by chasing intensity again. They mistake calm for boredom. They provoke drama, over-explain feelings, or seek reassurance they no longer need. And suddenly, the ground she just began standing on starts to shake. Stability feels rare because so few men allow it to exist. Here's the truth. Love doesn't grow louder over time. It grows quieter and deeper. When a woman feels safe, she doesn't test with conflict. She tests with consistency. She notices whether your behavior matches yesterday, last week, last month. She watches to see if your attention is genuine or performative. This is where masculine leadership truly lives, not in dominance, not in control, but in emotional continuity, being the same man across moods, moments, and circumstances. A man who doesn't punish distance, doesn't exploit closeness, and doesn't withdraw care when comfort replaces excitement. When she feels this steadiness, something irreversible happens. Her nervous system relaxes, her defenses soften. She allows herself to imagine a future without fear. That's when love becomes dangerous for her, because now it matters. And understand this clearly. Once she reaches this point, losing you would hurt her deeply, which is why she becomes more sensitive, not less, more observant, not more demanding. This isn't regression, it's investment. The man who honors this phase doesn't become complacent, he becomes intentional. He protects the emotional environment without controlling it. He values calm as much as passion, and because of that, she no longer wonders if he's safe to love. She already knows that certainty is what most men chase through effort, but it only arrives through self-respect, patience, and emotional discipline. Maintain your center, honor your values, and remain consistent. Do this, and she doesn't fall harder. She falls deeper, steadier, and without fear, doubt, or resistance ever again, with you fully present. Now let's bring everything together, because this is where most men finally understand what women are really doing when they test you, and why so few ever reach the place of true, unshakable love. She tests because she's seeking proof. Not proof of wealth, status, or charm, but proof of a man who can exist fully, confidently, and calmly in her emotional world without losing himself. That is rare, that is magnetic, that is unforgettable. Every question she asks, every subtle pushback, every hesitation, it's an invitation to show her the man she can depend on. And make no mistake, she's always watching, quietly, carefully, without announcing her observations. She sees the patterns, the consistency, the depth of your presence. If you respond from panic, neediness, or ego, she feels it immediately. But if you respond from calm, clarity, and centered strength, she feels it too, and she begins to let herself fall without even realizing she is doing it. Here's the brutal truth most men never accept. Love is not given, it is earned, but it's not earned through grand gestures or persuasive words. It's earned through invisible strength, emotional reliability, and unwavering character. It's earned in the way you hold yourself, when she tests you, when she pushes boundaries, when the tension is high and her guard is up. This is the arena where attraction transforms into desire, where admiration transforms into love, and where a woman begins to envision a future with a man she knows will not betray her heart. And this is where your power as a man truly emerges. You are not trying to make her love you. You are demonstrating through your presence that you are someone who can be trusted with love, someone who can withstand her doubts and her hesitations, someone whose steadiness gives her a safe space to release her walls. When you embody that, testing no longer intimidates you. It becomes the signal that she sees your strength, that she is considering commitment, that she is preparing to choose you fully. Remember this, most men never reach this point because they react too quickly, give too much, or fail to hold their center under subtle pressure. But when you understand the psychology behind her tests, when you recognize that they are not rejection, but invitations, you step into a rare zone, a zone where a woman no longer wonders about your value because she has already experienced it. So take this truth, internalize it, and live it. Be steady, be present, be unwavering. When you do, she will not just admit love, she will surrender to it fully, deeply, and without reservation. And that, my friend, is the kind of connection most men will spend a lifetime chasing, but will never understand until now.